Ladies and gentlemen, I once tried explaining to my friend why a 1914 camper matters, and he looked at me like I'd just invented time travel. I believe that's exactly what this machine is, a time machine with wooden walls, a stove, and just enough horsepower to make your dreams move slowly but confidently. And I think that's the charm. Back then, adventure didn't rush, it creaked. We are looking at a 1914 Ford Model T Caravan, a one-off motorhome built in the United Kingdom on a chassis produced by Ford Motor Company in the USA. The base vehicle came from Highland Park, Michigan, during the golden age of early mass production led by Henry Ford. By 1914, the model had already become the world's most accessible car, but someone looked at it and said, "Nice, but where do I sleep?" That someone was the Bentall family, wealthy British retailers who wanted luxury travel before highways even existed. The Caravan conversion was commissioned by Frank Bentall and executed with impressive craftsmanship. The chassis was extended and reinforced by Bico to handle the added weight, while the body was built by Dunton of Reading using traditional wood coach-building techniques. Only one unit was ever created, and remarkably, it still exists today. I think that's impressive, considering my friend Timmy once lost a bicycle in 2 weeks, and this thing survived more than a century. This vehicle emerged during a time when cars were still unreliable, roads were rough, and World War I was about to change everything. It wasn't built for the masses, but for aristocratic leisure, allowing wealthy owners to explore the countryside in relative comfort. In many ways, it represents the transition from horse-drawn caravans to motorized living. Technically, the Caravan retained the original Model T powertrain. Up front sits a 3-liter inline 4-cylinder engine, or 177 cubic inches, producing around 20 horsepower. I think that's about the same energy Timmy has after his third drink, enthusiastic but not exactly efficient. The engine uses a simple carburetor and magneto-ignition, with thermosiphon cooling, meaning no water pump, just natural circulation. Power is sent to the rear wheels through a 2-speed planetary transmission, operated by pedals instead of a conventional gear lever. There is no clutch pedal as we know it today, which I believe explains why early drivers developed very strong legs and even stronger patience. The layout is front-engine, rear-wheel drive, and the entire system was already working hard even before adding a wooden house on top. The chassis reinforcement was critical. The added structure included a fully wooden body, interior furniture, and sleeping space for 4 people. Suspension remained basic with leaf springs, and braking relied on mechanical systems acting on the drivetrain rather than modern wheel brakes. In terms of size, the Caravan stretched to approximately 4 meters, or about 14 feet in length, with a width near 2 meters or 5 feet. Weight likely exceeded 1,200 kilograms. Top speed dropped from the standard 65 kilometers per hour, or 40 miles per hour, to a more realistic 40 to 50 kilometers per hour, or 25 to 31 miles per hour. Fuel consumption ranged between 11 and 15 liters per 100 kilometers. And I think the most fascinating part is that despite all limitations, it worked. It moved, it carried people, and it turned a simple car into a living space, long before anyone thought of van life hashtags or solar panels. Meanwhile, my neighbor Bob still thinks electric cars are controlled by aliens, so imagine explaining this to him. We step inside, and I think this is where the 1914 Ford Caravan truly reveals its philosophy. The interior is not just functional, it reflects early 20th century ideas of comfort on the move. There is a fold-down table, leather seating that transforms into sleeping space, and even a wood-burning stove used for both cooking and heating. I liked the most how the driver's bench can swivel toward the living area, turning the cabin into a lounge. It feels less like a vehicle and more like a traveling drawing room, just with a bit more vibration and significantly less speed. The use of wood throughout the body and interior creates a warm atmosphere, but it also required constant care. Even details like curtains, storage compartments, and the wardrobe show that this Caravan was designed for extended journeys, not quick trips. Timmy once tried building a wooden shelf after watching one video, and I think this Caravan has better structural integrity than his entire apartment. Over time, the Caravan disappeared from active use and was eventually abandoned for decades. It resurfaced in the 1970s and underwent a careful restoration led by Leo Smith, with cabinetmaker Robin Tanner helping preserve around 95% of the original materials. I believe this is one of the reasons it feels so authentic today. It is not over-restored. It still carries the spirit of its era, including imperfections that tell its story. Now, about the money. A standard Ford Model T in 1914 cost around $550, roughly equivalent to $16,000 and $18,000, or about 15,000 and 17,000 euros today. This custom Caravan, being a one-off luxury build, would have been significantly more expensive even back then. At a recent Bonham's auction, it was estimated between $25,000 and $38,000, or approximately 23,000 to 35,000 euros. That is surprisingly accessible for something so historically important, though I suspect maintaining it might require more patience than Timmy has had in all his marriages combined. So we end with gratitude to this incredible machine and to those who preserved it. And of course, huge thanks to our channel sponsors. You are the real horsepower behind CampAvto. If you want to support us, become a sponsor for just $1. Yes, $1.